All right, welcome to episode 3. We're just going to do a rundown of every type of bet. You got spreads, totals, money lines, and player props. So let me open up one of these apps and let's get straight to it. All right, we are switching to the DraftKings app to go over different type of bets. First one, we already touched on in an earlier video. We're going to go over money line. Money line is just a word for who you think is going to win the game. That's it. They could win by 1, they could win by 50, they could win by 100. As long as they win, this bet cashes, right? So let's go to Monday Night Football. We are at the Eagles and the Chargers game. Let's say I think the Eagles are going to win, and I want to bet on the Eagles. The odds are minus 135. Remember what I said in the earlier video. That means they believe, as in the odds makers believe, the Eagles are going to win, right? So let's say if I put $10 on this, $10 to get me about $7.40. Do you guys see that? $7.40. Oh, gotta refresh my page. All right, we back like cook crack in the 80s. All right, so now let's say, scratch that. I think the Chargers is going to win. They at home. Eagles ain't got nothing for these boys, right? I'm rocking with J Herb and them. You want to take Chargers on the money line. That means they won by 1, 10, 50, whatever. $10 would get you $11.40. $11.40. The payout right here on this app includes the amount you put in. So that's why it's 11. Even though it doesn't show 11, it shows 21. It's because it includes the amount you bet. So let's get to the total. I feel like the total is the easiest thing to teach. It's right here in the middle on DraftKings. This is real easy, man. Let's say, because this is real easy because all you're doing is adding the scores from both teams. That's it. That's all you're doing is doing addition. This is second grade, first grade, kindergarten stuff. So let's say the Eagles scored 30 points, right? Let's say we want to take the over 41 and a half. That means whenever you see a 0.5, that means they're always rounding up, right? They're rounding up. That's what you learn in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, right? So if I want to take the over, that means the total of this game has to be 42 or more. When I add the scores from both teams together, that number has to be 42 or more if I want to bet the over 41.5 in this game. So for example, let's say the Eagles, let me put it on paper because I know that's the best way people learn. All right, let me put it on paper. Share this tab instead. Let's switch. Let's say the Eagles scored 30 points. Let's say the Chargers had 20, right? What's the total? 50, right? Simple. You just add those two numbers together, 50. Now, if I take the over 41 and a half and the total is 50, that means I won this bet, right? That means I won this bet. Now, let's go back. That, right? Oh, sorry. I was on the document the whole time. But anyway, back to the document, right? Let's say the Chargers had 7 and the Eagles had 14. The total is 21, right? 21. Let's come back to DraftKings. If the total is 21 and we bet the over that the game will go over 41.5, which is 42, that means we lost that bet. We lost because we thought the total of that game was going to be 42 or more. It ended up being a total of 21. It's easy, simple, peasy. Now, let's say we wanted to take the under, right? Let's say we wanted to take the under 41.5. We believe the total is going to be 41, 40, 39, 38, or anything less than 42, right? So let's get into it. Let's go back to the document. If the total score is 21 and we took the under, that means we cash, baby. Bring us the money, right? But let's say we took the under 42 and the score was 30 to 20 and the total comes out to 50, right? That means we lost this bet because we thought the total was going to be under 42 and it ended up being 50. Okay? So easy peasy. Total, I feel like that's very easy to teach. Now, let's get into spreads because I know a lot of people have a hard time learning spreads. So I think the best way to teach spread is right here, all the way to the left. The best way to teach this is going back to second grade again, man. I'm gonna teach you on a number line. Um, that's the best way to teach it is by going to a number line. You see right here, you have the Eagles spread at minus 2.5. That means the Eagles has to win by 3 or more points. That's all that means, right? Now, if the Eagles was to win by 2, that means your bet has lost because you're taking Eagles minus 2.5. Remember, I told you the 0.5 gets rounded up. So that means you're predicting the Eagles to win by 3 or more. So they have to win by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. If the Eagles only win by 1 or 2, this bet loses. So let me just show you what it looks like on the number line. I'm gonna share this tab instead. This is the number line we was taught as kids, right? You got 0, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, right? We're going to negate that. We're going to make a sports betting number line to teach sports betting. So the negatives are to the right and the pluses are to the left. So they said the Eagles minus 2.5, right? That means when we want to go to where it says minus 2 and between minus 3, this is where they have the line set at right here. Let me see. What can I put something here like a T? All right, yep. I'll just put a T here. They have the line set between 2 and 3. So that means if the Eagles win by anything over here, 3, 4, 5 or better, that means that bet hits. If the Eagles only win by 2 or 1, that bet loses, right? Now, let's go back to DraftKings. Let's say we want to take, we believe the Chargers keep the game close. Let's say we want to take the Chargers plus 2.5. So, let's go to the number line right here, right? They have the Chargers plus 2.5. That is right here to the left. We see plus, says plus 2 and plus 3. This is where the line is set at. We're going to put a T there, right? So let's say the Chargers lose by 2 or 1. That means they win that bet. Now, if the Chargers lose by 3, 4, 5, that means they lose that bet. So let's just say anything to the right is a winner, anything to the left is a loser. So let's break it down even further, just in case y'all are still confused, right? So let's say the Eagles had 25, Chargers 23, right? And let's say my bet was Eagles minus 2.5, right? This bet would not hit. It's an X because the Eagles only won by 2, right? So you see this? The Eagles have to win by 3 or more. Now, let's say I took the Eagles to win by Eagles minus 2.5. Basically, just means Eagles win by 3. Matter of fact, let me type that in actually, just so y'all can see what I mean. Eagles 2.5 equals Eagles win by 3. Eagles minus 3.5 equals Eagles win by 4. Let's say Eagles minus 6.5 equals Eagles win by 7. A touchdown. That means they win by a touchdown. Let's do another one. Let me scroll down. Eagles minus 9.5, right? Means the Eagles win by 10. That's all that means, people. That's all that means. If you're taking a minus, remember if I told y'all, if you're taking a minus, anytime you see a minus in sports betting numbers, that means the odds makers believe that is going to happen. That's all that means. So Eagles minus 2.5 Eagles win by 3. Eagles minus 3.5 equals Eagles win by 4. Eagles minus 6.5 equals Eagles win by 7, a touchdown. Eagles, if you bet Eagles minus 9.5, that means the Eagles must win by at least 10. Matter of fact, let me add that word, at least 3, at least 4, at least 7, at least 10. So that just give you an idea right there of how spreads work. If you're taking Eagles minus 6.5, they have to win by at least 7. Now, let me go back to Chargers. Let me type that out for you. Let's say you took Chargers plus 2.5. All that's saying is Chargers to lose by at least 2. Let me type it in for you. Equals Chargers to lose by at most. The verbiage change up actually, I'm sorry. Chargers to lose by at most 2. Chargers plus 1.5 equals Chargers to lose by at most 1 point. Let's switch it up. Let's say Chargers plus 7.5 equals Chargers to lose by at most 7. Chargers plus 9.5 equals Chargers to lose by at most 9, right? So let's say if the Chargers, we took Chargers plus 2.5, which is right here on the number line. That means they can, if they lose by 2, we win that bet. If they lose by 1, we also win that bet. Guess what? If the Chargers win, we also win that bet. But if the Chargers lose by 3, we lose that bet. If the Chargers lose by 4 or 5, anything to the left of this T right here, anything to the left of this T, we lose the bet. Anything to the right of this T, we win that bet. So I know spreads is kind of difficult to understand, but if you always put it like on the number line. So let's come back here to DraftKings and spreads. That one is a very tough one. That's a very tough one. I like to think about it as in the number line. Remember, minuses to the right, pluses is to the left. So I'm taking Eagles minus 2.5. The Eagles have to win by at least 3. $10 would give me $9.52. We just went over money line, totals, and spreads. Let's go over player props. Player props are a way you can bet on individual players. Let's stay with the Eagles and Chargers game here. Okay, so we are now looking at player props. We're going to look at player props at the end of this episode now. Basically, all player props is you're betting on the individual player instead of the team. Instead of saying, I want the Eagles to win, I want the Chargers to lose, or I want the total to be over 42, the total to be under 42, or I want the Eagles to win by 3. Player props is something, is my specialty that I like to dive into. So let's say We believe they have Jalen Hurts passing yards for tonight at 192. Remember that point 0.5 means it's rounded up. So really 193. So if I take this over right here on Jalen Hurts passing yards, all that's saying is I believe Jalen Hurts will throw for at least 193 passing yards tonight. I believe he will throw for 193 passing yards or more. Now, if I don't think Jalen Hurts will throw for that many yards, I will take the under. So if I think Jalen Hurts will have less than 193 passing yards, I will take the under. So if I think he's going to throw for 160, I will be looking to take the under. If I think he's going to throw for 200 or something, I will take the over. So that's basically player props. Same thing with Justin Herbert. If you think he's going to throw for 216 passing yards, you take the over. If you think he's not going to throw for 216, it's going to be under, you take the under. And I'll show you guys another player prop. We can go to receiving props, right? All right, we got AJ Brown, right? AJ Brown is at 62.5 receiving yards. Rounded up, that means if I want to take the over, I believe he will have 63 receiving yards tonight. If I don't think he's going to have 63 receiving yards, I'm looking to take the under, right? That's all it is, right? Another example, Keenan Allen, receiving yards 38. I could take over 38 or I could take under 38. Easy peasy, just like that, right? 50-50 bets. Either Keenan Allen goes over or he goes under. 50-50 bet. Now, that is the basis of money lines, totals, spreads, and player props. I mean, that's the best way I could explain each type of bet. These are the main four, probably the only four to be honest. And next episode, we're going to talk about how to actually research bets and how to get into the nitty gritty. Maybe look at some data, maybe not. Maybe look at some factors that may impact bets. And see you in episode 4. Peace.